Yo, what is going on, you guys? It's your boy King Sanders Picks here. We're here with our first ever video today. I'm really excited to get started into it. So today is April 3rd, 2021. It is Saturday. It's about 6:30 in the morning, so if I do sound a little groggy, I'm sorry. But I'm really excited to get started into it. This is going to be pretty much what a regular day is going to look like in regards to how these videos are going to look, and I'm very excited to just hop straight into it. So, as of right now, I am looking through these lines, and there's a couple that stand out to me, a couple that I'm going to actually go ahead and hammer. There's a couple that I really like, and then there's some that I absolutely hate. So, for example, in this Dallas game, I gotta be honest, I don't like that spread. 6.5 is kind of in the midway point. I feel like Dallas is going to win, but it's not going to be by nearly as much as 7 or even a blowout. So I don't know. If I had to pick a side, I'd go the Wizards. But the thing is, we have to wait on that Bradley Beal news. If Bradley Beal's out, I do think that it might be a solid idea to pick Dallas minus 6.5. But I don't know. It's kind of a shaky one. It looks like Bet America has the best odds on that too. If you're looking for the best odds, and it looks like the over and under is right about 230. So if I had to pick a side, I'd go with the over. But realistically, I probably won't be betting that game at all. So anyway, don't like that game. I do not like that game at all. If you guys do bet it, good luck. But I would probably wait until the Bradley Beal news. If Bradley Beal's in, I would probably pick Washington to cover just because he's going to be coming back looking for probably 30. And if he's out, you could definitely look at Dallas covering that spread, but that's definitely your call. The next game, I don't like this game at all. That's way too high of a spread for Miami, but Cleveland's been absolutely terrible. They haven't even scored 100 in the past couple games, so it's hard for me to go with Miami here to cover 12. I can't do it. I mean, 12 is a huge number, and so that should give the advantage to Cleveland, but Cleveland's been so bad. They haven't even scored 100, and Miami's not necessarily the highest scorers, but they also, I don't know. I don't like that game at all. The over-under is right where it should be at 205. I don't like that at all. I am completely fading that game. This game, however, is very intriguing to me. New York versus Detroit. New York has absolutely no injuries going on. Detroit has a couple things going on. I know Dennis Smith Jr. Let's take a look at it. So Magruder's out. Killian Hayes is probable. Interesting. Okay. Dennis Smith Jr.'s out. Doumbia is questionable. Diallo's questionable. So I would wait on a little bit of injury news on this one. But in my opinion, I love the New York Knicks minus 2.5 here. New York Knicks are actually a really good basketball team this year. Detroit has not been. New York has actually been pretty good. Randall, and obviously the coach runs their starters to the ground. And so Randall's been a monster this year. So truthfully, I mean, I don't think Mason Plumlee is going to be that big of a deal for Julius Randle. I think that I would just go with New York. Just go New York minus 2.5. And the over and under on this game is 205.5. I wouldn't touch the over under on that game. That's just kind of a scary spot. If I had to pick a side, I'd probably go with the over, even though the Knicks play super slow. I do think that Detroit, I do think they have a couple scorers on their team, so it makes it, pretty relevant to think that they would each hit 100, but I don't know. It's going to be close. If you guys do bet the over or the under, it's going to be close. It's going to be a sweat the entire game. So in my opinion, I would just go New York minus 2.5. That should be a lock. Bet America does have it at minus 109 odds, so if you're looking for the best odds on that, go for it. The next game is Minnesota versus Philadelphia. Now, It looks like Minnesota is a 9.5 point dogs. Rightfully so. Minnesota has not been very good. But the thing is, okay, so I don't like the spread. I would not bet the spread on this game whatsoever. But the thing is, if you look here, their over and under is 230.5. That would mean roughly each team would have to score 115 points. And I think that Minnesota may be able to do that, like on a regular night. But I don't know if Philly can. Philly without Embiid, because I'm sure Embiid's still out. I think he's supposed to be out until like mid-April or something. Philadelphia is a very non-scoring basketball team. They play a lot of defense, and they don't score the ball very well. So if I was, so I'm going to be betting this game, of course, and I'm going to be taking the under 230.5. I don't think that it gets that high whatsoever. I think that that's a very high over-under for two teams that one team isn't very good. Minnesota hasn't been very good this year, and Philadelphia is missing their best player, their main source of scoring. So I would bet the under in this game. That's going to be probably my favorite play of the day. Yeah, I love that play. So I don't even know. But next is Indiana and San Antonio. I do want to take a look at the injury report real quick. Sabonis is questionable. Jeremy Lamb's questionable. Brogdon's questionable. And obviously TJ Warren's out for the season. And do the Spurs have any injuries? I have no idea. Let's see. San Antonio, Lonnie Walker's out, Trey Lyles is out, Gorgie Zhang's out, and Keita Bates-Diop's out. So the thing is last time I bet against the Spurs, because I didn't think that they were that good of a team, they absolutely spanked me. I know that Indiana's a pretty good team, and I think it was against the Kings. Yeah, I bet money line on the Kings to win against the Spurs, and they absolutely smacked them. So I really sold the bag on that one. But 5.5 points. If Sabonis is playing, I do think that should be a little bit closer. So in my opinion, on this game, I'm gonna wait until injury news comes out. But if Sabonis is playing, I'm definitely gonna take this bet. I'm probably gonna take Indiana plus 5.5. Let's take a look at the line real quick. They have 223.5. That's probably right where it should be. So I probably won't be betting the over and under. And once again, if you guys are new around here, I do like to use Barstool a lot. I do feel like it's a very good sports book. It's got a lot of trends and stuff here. It's got the cover percentages, so they do a really good job here on Barstool. I really like Barstool a lot. So, but anyway, let's get back to it. Next is Orlando and Utah. 16.5 point favorites for Utah. Crazy enough, I mean, that's a huge number. That's an absolutely monstrous number. But the thing is I think that they cover it. I mean, Orlando is so beat to pieces that I don't foresee them keeping it close. Utah is phenomenal. Their defense is really good. Is Donovan Mitchell still out? Let's see, because I'm not sure about. If Donovan Mitchell's still out, yeah, no, he's back in. Okay, so Donovan Mitchell's in. I definitely think Utah is going to cover the spread. I don't foresee them keeping it close. But hey, maybe they'll prove me wrong tonight. Let's take a look at the over and under in this game. 216.5, rightfully so. I mean, Utah plays really good defense, and Orlando's just really bad. So I may take the under on that game. 216 is kind of a tall task for one team that's terrible, and the other team plays really good defense. It might be a blowout early. They might be putting subs in by third quarter. So I may take the under on that game. The next game is OKC in Portland. So I got to thinking about this game, and I thought about it for quite a bit. This is a tough game just because of the fact that OKC has been so up and down this year. They've been very what's the word? I'm trying to think of the word, but like they've been so sporadic. That's the best word for it. So like they get hot, they win like two or three straight, then they lose, and it's just so on and so forth, stuff like that. They're just such a streaky team, and I I don't know. I feel like let's take a look at their last game real quick. So I mean they did get blown out by Phoenix, rightfully so. Um, let's see. I just wanted to take a look at their. I just wanted to take a look at their past results. There we go. So they did lose a couple, but then they won two against Minnesota and Houston. They lost by 7 to the Bulls. So I don't know. See, Phoenix is a pretty good team. They lost to Dallas by almost 20. They lost to Boston by almost 20. It's going to be close. It's going to be very close. Whenever it comes to, it's going to be very close. Like they're probably going to lose by like 12, and that's the issue. Is they're going to either lose by 12 or get blown out, or they're going to keep it close. So you never really know with OKC. It's kind of a hard team to bet on. They do have an over and under of 227.5. That is a game where 227.5 is a huge. It's a huge over and under for two teams that, I mean, OKC is not necessarily like super great when it comes to scoring. I know the Blazers are. The Blazers, So if I excuse me. If I had to pick a game, if I had to pick a side, I'd probably go Trailblazers to cover, and I'd probably go with the under, just because I don't think the Thunder, I think they'd barely score 100 against the Blazers team, but I don't know. So this last game, this is where I'm putting a lot of my money. So according to Barstool, they just changed their odds, which is unfortunate. They did have them at 4.5-point favorites earlier. I should have bet it then. The Bucks versus Kings. I didn't even talk about it. Bucks versus Kings is this last game of the night. I am going to be betting on Milwaukee to win and cover, and I'm going to be betting the under 239 probably. I don't think both teams get to 120 points. I just don't. I feel like it's going to be a blowout pretty early, just because there's not really anybody that's going to be able to stop Giannis. Whenever they do try to stop Giannis, then they're going to have players like Chris Middleton, who's been playing out of his mind lately. Drew Holiday, he hit like 3 or 4 threes last game. Like, they just have such a good roster. Their only injury right now is PJ Tucker, who's going to, it's going to hurt their bench a little bit, but it's not really anything too terrible. So I know that video was kind of long. I will try to shorten it up. I will try to just, from now on, get some of my best picks, and I will just put them, boom, here's my best picks, here's why, boom, in the video. But I just kind of wanted to go through what a day is going to look like in regards to how I do my research, how I think it's going to work, stuff like that. So my best bets of the day, New York minus 2.5 is going to be my favorite play of the day, first of all. Second one is going to be Milwaukee minus 6.5. And the third one is going to be, the Minnesota Timberwolves and the Philadelphia 76ers under 230.5. Those are my 3 favorite picks of the day. Close, and then if I had to pick a second tier, I'd probably go Mavs minus 6.5. I would probably go with maybe the Pacers plus 6, depending on Sabonis. Yeah, and that's pretty much it. Maybe the Blazers minus 11.5 if you wanted to throw in another bet, but definitely my 3 favorite picks of the day are going to be those 3. So it's going to be the Bucks minus 6.5, the Knicks minus 2.5, and the under in the Minnesota Timberwolves and 76ers games. For NCAA, just because I know that there are some games today. Just to take a quick look at it, gotta be honest, I do think UCLA keeps it semi-close. They have been the Cinderella team for sure. and they have been red hot. Jaime Jaquez is an absolute dog. I don't think that they win, but I do think that they may have a chance at, covering 14.5 for sure. 145 is really high too, so if you wanted to go with the under, you could probably do that. But that wouldn't be a game that I would be betting on. And Houston and Baylor, that's going to just be kind of a toss-up when it comes to that spread. It's going to be probably a 4 or 6 point win, probably not a 5, so that's your own call. But I do hope that you guys enjoyed this video. If you guys did enjoy this video, make sure you guys like, comment, subscribe, and turn on that notification bell so you guys know whenever I post. And I'll be back tomorrow. This is King Sanders signing out. Peace.